All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this coLcast presentation. I'm your casting host, Beef, and with me today, Emperor, aka Bryce from Domain of Pain. We're bringing you HoN Tour Diamond Cycle 4 Losers Bracket Round of 2. Complexity Gaming taking on Lions Emp. I am so stoked for this match.
Yeah, this is sort of the hype rematch of the tournament so far. We saw Lions taking out Complexity earlier in the tournament. They scrimped together quite a bit. And actually, I feel like the two teams have a little bit of a similar style sometimes. So I'm interested to see these two teams go head to head here. It should be a really good game.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you that they have a similar style. In fact, I remark on that quite often during my cast that I feel that Lions has taken a majority of their stylistic decisions from Complexity. I mean, you can see it right there. Hammerstorm, Wretched Hag, heroes that Complexity has really kind of brought back, and Lions loves picking those up. And Lions, not an ultra aggressive team. They just kind of pick
Yeah,
those
yeah, I
safe
know.
rosters. They pick the safe rosters. They try to capitalize on mistakes that their opponents make while just playing safe. Just try not to make mistakes themselves, which is what Complexity does as well. We'll see which one of these teams can do it. As you said, Lions taking the series 2-1 over Complexity last weekend. We'll see if coL, this time, maybe with a little bit more practice, if they're going to be able to do the same this time.
Yeah. All right. So right here, right away, we see blind bands. Who did blind band what? I missed the start of it. I'm trying to find it. I don't have the blind bands. Do you?
Yes, I do. The blind bans were, in fact, Keeper of the Forest and Pharaoh being banned by B-Kid, while Wild Soul Pebbles banned by Hellborn. How about that Pharaoh ban?
Keeper of the Forest Pharaoh. Yeah, I like Pharaoh ban against Lion. And Wild Soul Pebbles banned by Lion?
Wild Soul Pebbles banned by Lions, yes.
Okay. That tells me that Complexity is going for an early Tempest pick out of the lock pool, and actually it tells me that they're going to go for a different Suicide. They're not going to go for Tempest Suicide, obviously, and that they actually favor Tempest as a team over Keeper of the Forest, is what also it tells me. And Tempest is a little bit more of a... He's going to be probably in that jungle role, obviously not Suicide, whereas Keeper you see more often in the Suicide than jungle. He is versatile, but Complexity usually prefers to run that jungle Tempest over having a Suicide Keeper when they're Legion pick, first pick. Just something they're more comfortable with, I guess, as a team. So that'll be good to see. I like Tempest in the jungle, especially with the other major junglers banned out here. He has a little bit more weight in the game, especially with his speed farming ability. So I like the strategy coming out from Complexity for the game. A little bit different, but I like it a lot. What else do we see here? Silhouette, Wretched Hag, Fade locks, and I missed half of the locks from Complexity. I can guess them here, though, being... wait, actually, Luna, Tempest, Glacius. I do actually have them all. Okay. So, we'll be seeing a Tempest first pick out of the lock pool, and then in response, I'm expecting the line to take Fade plus either their support or Silhouette or their short. Well, actually, they honestly have a lot of options to go.
Hag's
So
in there as well.
Yeah, Hag's in there. So we'll have to see what hero they actually favor.
I say it's going to be Tempest first pick out of the lock into Hag Fade. I'd say those are the strongest ones, unless they need a carry.
I kind of like the support locks because
It's true.
if Lion is going for Hag plus, was going to say Hag plus Fade out of the pool or a Silhouette plus Fade out of the pool, that means that they're going to be have to picking a more unconventional support, which they may not be as familiar with.
That's true,
Maybe a
yeah.
Torture support or an Empath support, something like that. I don't know what they'll actually wind up going with. There's lots of options, of course, but I kind of like those locks. They sort of have to choose here between their comfortable heroes with all of those heroes locked.
Yeah, Engineer does get banned, so like you said, got to choose the comfortable supports, and I know that Hanskin loves, well, not Hanskin anymore, but Seal Kid loves that Engineer, and Hanskin plays him sometimes as well if he's playing the secondary support role. But in addition to Engineer, Plague Rider, Parasite, Tundra, Zephyr, and Ophelia banned out. So both of your offensive junglers there, the Parasite and the Ophelia, as well as some very strong other heroes, including that Plague Rider in the long lane being banned out. Don't want to give that to B-Kid.
No, they do not. Hammerstorm, Moon Queen. I pretty ballsy move here by Complexity. Moon Queen has been seen, even in games where all hope seems to be lost, Moon Queen has seemed to be turning it around lately. I do believe Moon Queen can be dealt with. I do actually think you can do it, but if you screw up against her, I mean, that's all she wrote. So a bold statement by Complexity there, but the Hag is sort of locked out there. which pressures them even more into taking the Hag, sort of Reliance playstyle, which means they're probably still going to have to pick up a different kind of support hero here, last pick out of this normal drafting pool. So I kind of like the Bubbles pick, and I think Bubbles is a little bit stronger than Hag a lot of times. So
Yeah, and that silence very, very good against Hag. Once you get that portal key silence on top of the kelp field, you can put out a ton of pressure. You throw one other person with a blink in there, and you're going to be able to pick up Hag kills for days until she gets that shrunken head. So with the Hammerstorm Moon Queen already getting the carry out of the way for Lions, Complexity then going to be leaning towards the Silhouette or the Draconis. One in the standard pool, one in the lock pool. Which one are you feeling here, Imp?
between the two of them, I wouldn't. It depends on whether they're going for the Luna or the Glacius. If they're going for the Luna or the Glacius, they would pick Dragon here for their carry. If they're going for that style of strategy. I actually really like. I like this a lot. I wanted to see the Magnus pick up, and Complexity's the team to do it. So, hey, that tells me they're going for either Hag or Silhouette out of this pool, though.
Here is what I'd like to see now. From Complexity, I'd like to see a Tempest jungle, and if you can pick it up, a Hag mid or a Silhouette mid. And then put Magnus Torture in the safe lane and farm the Magnus. I think that's what I want to see, but we'll see here from Lions what they choose to go with. So already seeing the Suicide and the possible dual lane mid, or at least the support point stun combination coming out of Complexity. And with carries already taken care of here, you got your point stunner already. What does Lions go here? They go Master of Arms, so going to be running that as a primary or secondary support.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think they're going to go without a jungle. They have to go without a jungle.
I hate to say, but the thing about Master is actually a really cool pick because you can play him in that carry or support role. So if they wanted to, they still have the option of picking up a support here or going for an option like a more carry Hag or Silhouette. So they do have options. I like Master.
I think right here they'll go for Fade plus another carry.
Probably.
Fade plus another support. And then run the 1-2-2.
Okay.
I think that's what they'll do, and then either Silhouette or Hag will be given to Complexity, and I'd really like to see Magnus thrown in that short lane and farmed.
Yeah, Andromeda could have been a good pick as well here. I think she's a little bit underrated, especially if you're not going with the jungler. You can run an aggressive tri-lane or something of that nature in general, and I like Andromeda for sort of the swap against Tempest in the late game. Gives you an answer to that shrunken head.
And Wretched Hag plus a Luna. So the interesting here. Very, very interesting. Now, what do you think about that Wretched Hag pickup?
Over fit? Yeah, I mean, I guess they weren't. They already have their mid hero and hammer, so I guess they weren't going to go fade.
Yeah,
I would have.
This is going to be a lot of farm that has to go around between Hammerstorm, Wretched Hag, and Moon Queen. And nobody in the jungle.
Yeah, but it's alright. I mean, they have two supporters. I mean, that'll be fine. They'll be able to get it if they do their lanes right, but it... So what are they going to run here? Hammerstorm, a Luna mid with... No.
I think the only thing we can really say is that Moon Queen's going to be top.
Yeah, they might actually go aggressive Hammerstorm and do the Master plus...
aggro tri-lane?
Maybe? I don't know. We'll see.
A Luna, Master of Arms, Hammerstorm tri-lane? That's a really strong tri-lane. And then run the short
they
lane.
could do that, and I would like to see it again against...
I agree.
Potentially.
So now against
I would have
that...
just... in this case, I'd rather see an Andromeda in this game.
Okay.
For more...
If I'm looking at this from Complexity standpoint right now, I look at the team and I say, very, very real possibility that there's going to be an aggro tri-lane bottom. Most likely going to put the Moon Queen, Wretched Hag in mid and top. Moon Queen top. Putting your dual lane bottom, not going to work against a tri-lane. That just means that you're denying farm to your two heroes down there. However, if you go with your Silhouette down there, you're going to lose farm on Silhouette. I'd actually like to see Bubbles short lane, Silhouette mid with a defensive ward to prevent roaming coming on her, and then throw your Torture or Magnus top to deal with that Moon Queen.
This as well. can either have Tempest aggressive jungle to help them out with the gank there if they
Yep.
need.
Yep, and to gank mid. Tempest come in and gank Wretched Hag with the assistance of Silhouette. That's my lane setup. Amp, what do you got?
I mean, even if you start out with an aggressive try, you can always, split it up into 2 dual lanes afterwards. There's no item builds that really show us where the other heroes are going so far.
Yeah, there certainly is. But what's your ideal lane setup here for each side?
Let me just...
Come on, we got a theory craft
Safest... Safest route... I mean, I would like the aggressive tri lane, but... Hag mid and then Moon Queen top, I guess. But then if they run Mag toward top, that's going to get smashed and it's really risky. I mean, they could just do a... Can they ward? Can they ward? If they go... Oh, they have a Bubbles. Bubbles can always get there in time. Yeah, I would still probably like to see the... Well, yeah, actually, it's really hard for me to say because it all depends on what Complexity decides to do. Because that Moon Queen is really vulnerable to aggressive play early on. So,
yeah, we'll see. 4 players going to be heading down from Lions, including 3 stuns here with the power throw. If there's an engagement, Lions definitely has the advantage as opposed to the 2 stuns, including Magnus putting himself out of position with his. And we'll see here in a second. But like I said, that would be my ideal here for Complexity. Now, at the same time, they might just run the Silhouette bottom and say, hey, Hax, you're going to suffer, but we're going to try to win our other lanes. The problem is that Bubbles going top versus a Moon Queen. I mean, versus a Wretched... What the hell? Wretched Hag's up there now? I don't even know
maybe
what's
they
going
expected
on.
some aggressive play. Maybe they're going to just go with Moon Queen dual lane down here and go hammer Luna mid or something. I'm not sure yet.
Well, Moon Queen and Luna mid would actually be...
Moon Queen's definitely in the side because she's got her Ring of Protection. She's in the side. They're starting with Hammer Storm mid, yeah. So they're actually going to go with a dual lane mid, dual lane bot kind of setup.
Okay. Complexity did just rotate Torture Magnus to long lane, thinking that that's where Moon Queen's going to be. And look at the ward over here from Franzi. It is protecting from the aggro tri-lane bottom. But I don't know yet. I don't know what we're going to see. And right now, it looks like it's going to be Hammer along with Master of Arms there in the middle lane.
Yeah, that's pretty fine. Bubbles is really good against that. There's no way you can catch Bubbles out if he has his...
Ooh, look at Les QQ's mana pool. He did not make it to town.
He did the double shell serves to get that ward off.
Well, normally you go to town after that, and he didn't.
Yeah, and you have plenty of time to if you really rush it off the start.
Well, and he got up there in plenty of time. That was a mistake, not going back to town.
Maybe he figured he just doesn't need it. I don't know. He's not going to be doing anything. I don't know. Either way.
I'd say that's a pretty big mistake. Now, let's take a look over here. There's some serious mind games going on in this game. I'd love to be able to talk to the captains. Just pause it right now and talk to the captains right here. Because you can actually see, look where the ward just got placed from Hanskin. They think that Tempest is going to be offensive jungling.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, they just really wanted to play careful there. Honestly, that might have been a good option for him, but hey, I like what they did in the end, Complexity. If we saw a Tort Mag bot, that would have been beautiful with the defensive Tempest. They don't have any vision there to catch him from ganking if they did that, but I guess they just weren't sure how to lane it, and it's never really safe putting your Silhouette up top, so...
Yeah, I don't mind these lanes at all from Complexity. In fact, I think they've got pretty damn good lanes, especially with that jungler. They're not going to be able to dual rotate the Master of Arms and the Aluna into the jungle to kill the Tempest without there being some big red flags going up. Silhouette's going to get decent levels down here.
See, that's what I'm not sure of. Like, so far, they're doing an excellent job of lane control, edging him out.
Okay.
It is not even really... Yeah, no, it's pushing back right now. I mean, Silhouette's going to be really hard-pressed to get experience down here, I think, and Tempest really isn't enough to help him out.
Yeah, I think she's going to get very, very little in that bottom lane until Tempest hits 6. But after that, they're going to knock that tower down, and then the lane should eventually push back unless Lions does a really, really good job of actually controlling that lane after the push and keeps it on their side of the river, in which case Silhouette's going to need to get farmed elsewhere. But the top lane, I definitely like this. I wanted to see the Magnus get farmed. No matter where he was, I did not want to see him dual lane mid. I wanted to see him getting somewhere a 2v1 lane, a 1v0 lane, something where he's going to be able to get early farm. I really like seeing this out of Complexity.
And if he gets that really aggressive free farm early on, around the time where Tempest hits 6, he can teleport bottom, assist that Silhouette, and double killing the Moon Queen on bot lane potentially. So.
Yep, he definitely can, but getting some nice early Ghost Marchers is something that I just really prefer to see on B-Kid. And, I mean, as we've seen sometimes this week, Complexity's kind of returned to this farm the Initiator style that they were playing, say, 3 months ago, back when they're in their prime on top of the scene. And as they've gotten away from that and gone more toward the dual mid rather than farming their Initiator in the short lane, they've started losing a little bit more. Maybe there's some correlation there, but as they started playing with a Magnus in the short lane, farming 350, 400 GPM, they've been doing well. Middle lane, a lot of damage being done to Bubbles. Gonna force him back.
And Magnus Tort's definitely a little bit more deadly of a combo versus that Hag too, even compared to Hammerstorm Tort.
Yeah, the instant stun or the instant stun animation.
And 2.15 seconds stun instead. Yep. Pretty nice.
Wait, 2.15. What?
Magnus?
What the hell?
Yeah, Magnus has a little bit longer of a stun though.
I did not know that. I thought it was 1.75.
Nope.
I'm wrong. Double damage Tempest going on a Luna right here. She's going to activate that health potion and, well, going to get deactivated, but she will be fine for now. As up in the top lane, Wretched Hag was taking some pressure from that 2.15 second stun duration. In the end, she's going to be just fine, and B-Kid going to get back to farming. And let's take a look at his CS right now. 27 and 10 at 4.5 minutes in. Not bad. There's the Ghost Marchers. 4 minutes in.
that honestly, like, I'm mostly impressed with the decision to send Bubbles mid for Complexity. It is perfect. I mean, once again, both of these heroes have point stuns that have pretty significant travel time. There's no way that Bubbles would wind up missing that unless he got juked out or something. So he's really able to get a lot of safe experience here in middle, and I think that's what's really doing it, keeping Complexity in this early game.
Yep, I think that they definitely have very, very good lanes, and the big problem that we've talked about a couple times is Silhouette not going to be able to get the experience or farm in that bottom lane, but as long as she doesn't feed there, I think that them essentially winning the jungle, because it's jungle versus zero, no other jungle, and crushing the top lane. And as long as Bubbles and Silhouette don't feed, I think Complexity's going to be in a really good position, shaping up to go into the later stages of the early game and carry over into the mid.
Yeah, meanwhile, we do see Hammerstorm off to a significant farm. Both Hammerstorm and Moon Queen are at 340, 350 GPM. Hammerstorm being their primary initiator. So they do have their initiator and their carry getting farm.
That's very true. Hit your gold per minute tab, though, and look at the difference here. We got Tempest that's just farming, you know, pretty well, 240. Bubbles that's farming okay. You got your Magnus farming really well. But then you look at the players that aren't supposed to be getting farmed, all down there in that sub 100 range. It just drops on the Hellborn side.
Yeah. Hag does have pretty decent recovery potential, at least, so that's one thing they got going.
Now, what's up with Tempest's farm? We're 5 minutes in right now, and I'm just feeling like the farm here from Moon is just a little bit low right now.
It's maybe 40 or 50 GPM lower than what you expect. Sometimes up to 300, but he's been helping Rome get the runes.
Yeah.
He pushed back the Aluna for a while, which allowed the Silhouette to get levels as well. So...
yeah, I guess
he's doing more for the game than just straight jungling. Sometimes if you're just purely passive, your lanes get overrun, and that's not good. It's not like Moon is doing anything wrong here. I think he's playing it just fine. So,
yeah, I was just wondering, maybe you saw some spawns in there that were less than favorable. I mean, you get a bunch of Catman champion spawns on any jungler, and you're just like, oh, come on. And
yeah, not the best. But yeah, remember he did roam around to get that DD rune, chase the Aluna off. That played more of a role into it, I think.
Yeah. Emp, when you're playing Warbeast and you go into like Skeleton King after Skeleton King camp, like how excited are you?
I'm good, but you know, Vagabond leaders are pretty much almost as good too.
But not when you're like level 2. Because they'll
if you handle it right and you have a Runes of Blight, they give you a lot of gold. They're really they're not as good as skeletons, but they are almost as good.
Well, yeah, you get more golden experience for sure, but you can take a lot more damage.
Yeah, I mean the trick is just making the new KU the hero. and splitting your wolves from behind them, and then afterwards you can pretty much kill off the Vagabond leader without taking too much more damage. Vagabond leaders are good, Skeleton Kings are good, Vultures are okay. Yeah, now that Centaurs are a little bit buffed too, once you're level 3 it's easier. But yeah, Catmen are the bane of your existence.
God, I hate Catman. Warbeast was my favorite hero for probably the first year that I played HoN. I played him quite a bit. That was my hero that I played in every series of the Gosu Gamers World Cup.
Nice.
Yeah, man. It was pretty good.
I actually didn't know that.
Yep. I played him like the entire time, and I was awful. I was a scrubby, dumpstery 1900 PSR player at that time. I like to think that I was good in the Kings of Men in-house leagues and stuff like that. And I distinctly remember playing Polywog Priest versus Testy's Defiler mid once, and I actually got first blood on Testy, and I was like, ha ha ha, I'm winning the game, and then Testy got like a 16-minute sacrificial heart, or a sackstone, or whatever it was called, bloodstone, whatever it was, and then just pooped on me the rest of the game.
Damn. What's going on right here now?
Something urgent has happened at Seal Kids. So yeah, that's all the information that we have right now. Of course, they do have 30 minutes of pauses, and we are ready.
Okay.
So how about that? And something that I just learned here during the break is there is a Lions team house forming. We've talked about the team house over of Stay Green that's going to be going on in Miami. But over there in Sweden, Lions is looking to form one. Right now, I believe that the first 2 members moving in are going to be Super KGE and Hanskin, I think. Maybe it was Krebson. One of those 2. And then they were saying that Seal Kid might be moving in as well.
Damn. Well, I always like to see that.
Yeah, very cool. So we'll see how that close proximity does affect their team play in the coming months. In fact, I gotta check now and see.
Well, Lions a team that's shown a lot of promise, so I mean.
Oh, middle lane, nothing going on. That was just a charge shot.
Middle lane has bubbles, man. They can't. They need. They'll need something else if they want to kill them.
It's Super KG and Krebson confirmed right now,
Okay.
and then Seal Kid might be moving in. So that'd be cool.
Not
That'd be
Hanskin,
cool,
though.
dude. Not Hanskin, not that I know of yet.
And Funzmeister's too young, I believe.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. So, let's take a look at this game again. Once again, 7 minutes in. Got a little bit of a gold lead for Lions and a little bit of an experience lead for Complexity, but look at this middle lane being converged upon on 3 sides. Lions, do they have any clue that this is coming? Ward did just expire up here where Torture just was.
6.
And what do we talk about with the bubbles? We talk about the Kelp Field hitting level 6 and just how strong he gets with just that one ability.
Yeah, and we see Silhouette level 5 with only 4 CS. We usually don't see that too much. He's like, yeah, he's level 5, 99 GPM. Still being kept off of that creep wave, so great job by Lion doing that. I think Silhouette, I mean, he's okay. He has a good skill set anyway, and he can recover, but I feel like he does need sort of a base of gold before he can sort of do what he needs to do. Unlike a hero like Moon Queen, which still has her nuking power, long range, safe nukes, great ulti to provide the team with. I feel like Silhouette needs a little bit of that farm to get some momentum going, so.
Yeah, I
like how
agree.
they're handling
It certainly doesn't hurt. I think he'll be all right anyway.
I've seen Haxorn sort of take the suffer route early, only to come back like with some godly GPM a number of times. But and he's got his boots. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, and he's not giving up any kills. In fact, going to put out some pressure onto Aluna right here. Going to throw out a couple auto attacks and an invisible Master of Arms now, kind of stalking this Tempest. Could be looking to set up a first blood, maybe on the Silhouette, actually. There's the charge shot, the goo going to be coming out as well. There's the Emerald Lightning, and the Moon Queen ultimate being used right there. Bloodlust going to Seal Kid. He grabs that one. I think the last, like, 4 games that I've cast with Lions, Seal Kid has grabbed the Bloodlust.
He's bad-mannered, man. They should look into replacing him now. He's just taking kills from their carry all day.
No. Seal Kid's awesome. Guys, if you want to talk about how many Bloodlust Seal Kid steals from their team, you can tweet at him. At twitter.com/SealKid1 is in the top lane. Wretched Hag going to be going not down. Oh, she's going to turn around with the Bat Blast here. One more auto attack. She will go down right here. Franzi, we're getting very, very close. But, ooh, Franzi actually does pick up the kill. So, what are we talking about? People stealing Stealing kills, of course, if you want to tweet
they
at
just need to
Francie.
remove these support players. And no, I'm kidding. It's always good to see farm on support. Otherwise, you know what? Your support players wind up becoming like roaming go checkpoints, like in Monopoly. You see them and you collect 200. And you know, I like to see supports with some farm for sure. I like to see a well-rounded team. And now, you know what? That kill gave SealKid his boots. He's not going to be sitting out like 14-minute boots or something ridiculous. Master of Arms has his boots as well, so they're doing great.
They're doing well indeed. Now, those two supports are going to be able to start moving around here as... what the hell's going on? There's just like trading of bottles and health potions. It was like a drug deal gone bad right there. These guys just walked by each other and tried to just slap items into each other's inventories, but they had to stop for like 2 minutes and make it really conspicuous.
Yep, a Whispering Helm finished on Moon Queen. Well, I shouldn't say finished, but she's got the gold for it, and she's got to be going for it, so...
Yeah, Whispering Helm and Steam Boots at 10 minutes in. She's doing well. 360 gold per minute. Definitely looking good. And as she turns on a Ring of the Teacher and starts auto-attacking, looks like she's going to be going for a push right now.
Yes, yes indeed.
Ooh.
Now, who is TPs right now? Tempest is already down there. Torturer has a teleport. Mag has a teleport, but he's kind of low on mana. I like that he went Blood Chalice this game. They didn't wind up defending it, though. Free tower here coming out for Lion. Meanwhile, the experience gap just seems to keep growing for Complexity.
It's the power of a jungler.
Yeah.
You hit that experience per minute. In fact, Tempest top in the game. Gonna be hitting level 9 pretty soon here. There's a Lava Surge up in the top lane. Chain Reaction Sun gonna go as well. There's the auto attacks. Not gonna connect with Wretched Hag.
Those Mystic Vestments doing work, eh?
Yeah, without the Mystic Vestments, could very well have been.
Was there too big of a creep wave for Torture to try to get lucky with his impalement, or?
There was a pretty big creep wave. Torture was also just pretty far back. She was trying to close the distance there. As Moon Queen is actually taking some damage here from Tempest. Offensive Master's coL even going to be used, so hitting that level 6 on MOA, that's always nice.
TP top right away with Moon Queen. They're going to try to go for a counter gank right here on that, say, Torture.
Oh, Impalement going on onto Aluna right here, but, oh, Aluna's so
he ran
done.
The wrong way. He ran the wrong way.
SealKid, what are you doing? Oh, Magless, though, could be in some serious trouble. That blast goes off, big juke.
Sidestep right there, eh?
Blood Chalice up right now, and well, there's the Fork Lightning going off. Needs to actually try to get. It's just not even remotely gonna happen. It was a nice sidestep. Did waste the Pat Blast, but in the end does go down. So, B-Kid, you can't outrun 5.
Not today.
Not today. So, Silhouette been left in the bottom lane now. She's gonna try to get her farm back up. And I've seen Haxorn left at level 2 before, then get into this position and come back to be like the highest level in the game. We'll see if he can start that.
I think it's more important for your initiators to get farm early on once again, because once again they have their Hammerstorm farmed online.
Middle lane, Kelfield gonna go out. There's the Song of the Sea as well. Hammer toss onto Tempest. Magma's gonna come in with the stun. Defensive Master's coL not doing a whole lot. There's a Emerald Lightning. Elemental Void gonna come out and Hammerstorm goes down. 4 players getting their hands on that one. And Shellsurf, you can get a connect onto a Luna as the Legion team looks like they're going to go ahead and try to drop this defensive tower. Level 3 Impalement coming out.
Yep, an excellent decision to use the Elemental Void there by Moon Meander.
Oh, Lava Surge right here onto Master of Arms. In comes the Shellsurf Song of the Sea. Are they going to be able to finish him off? Beacon actually goes down, then Master of Arms drops. Not a good trade. And they might not be done just yet. Hag chugging some bottle charges here. And going to be trying to go onto somebody? No, going to fall back.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you were Complexity, would you have gone to take the tower, or would you have gone for that trade? Yeah, I mean, obviously they thought they could get out in time, so not a big deal. And B-Kid's still edging on his portal key right here. And it also, you know what, in some way it creates a little bit of a distraction for Haxner to keep farming. So, not the end of the world.
At that point, I think that when you're trying to farm your initiator, when you're trying to get those nice big items on him really, really early, I like the initiative to get involved. I also think that you need to be really cautious at that point. You just spent the first 10 minutes of the game trying to get your farm on. Maybe you need to be playing careful until you can make sure to retain that farm by having the basic items that you need to get into and get out of battles safely, which means your portal key. So I personally would have liked to have seen Magnus just sit back, farm that portal key until he was ready with that one. But not what we see. Beacon takes his second death. A little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, still sitting at 300 GPM here. Are they looking to... Oh, he's going back towards top. So he might be looking for the Ancients for a second there, but...
Now
they're kind of floating around, not sure what they're going to do yet.
Yeah, they're just kind of looking for something. Of course, they're still up some experience in gold here.
I think they're going to triple stack these Ancients and just go for the safe
Ulti.
farm.
Mag will just go in there with the ultimate. And
maybe, yeah.
Both teams just doing a little bit of counter warding right there as we see the supports just dropping some ward revelations. The lane ward taken out in the bottom, whereas the rune ward up at top river was taken out by Franzi. And with that triple stack now, Lava Surge comes in. There's the Shell Surf and the Eruption going to be channeled up. So B-Kid going to be able to take home most of those kills. And then going to go into Steam Bath, which I believe does no damage to these creeps. He actually needs to get out of there, and
he just used his Blood Chalice.
And they both just died to neutrals.
Moment of silence here for BK.
I already typed the dot, man. I already typed the one dot, and in fact, they're gonna steal the two Dragon Masters and the last Predator Crusher.
Is this real life?
Insult to injury, right there for the Complexity squad.
Beacon was okay though. He literally he Blood Chalice. Maybe he was thinking he'd get a stun off right away and then finish him, but he took damage a second to hit that Chalice and drop. That's gotta be him. He's pretty much back where he started when he died in mid.
Yeah, 3 deaths in 5 minutes for Beacon, and well, there's an initiation coming out on Master of Arms. The Glacial Blaster there. Shell Surf, not even needing the song to see. Bat Blast whiffs!
Oh,
wow, that was so close to hitting both of them.
Yeah, I mean, even if he hit Bubbles with that Bat Blast, Bubbles had a full power supply there. Kelp Field's still up. I think he would have been just fine. I don't know about that. Now they don't have to reside to just go split push as much as possible here. BK should definitely have this portal key up before the next fight, and I think Complexity gets the upper hand there by and far.
The problem is that he should have had the portal key 3 minutes ago, 4 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago. I mean, when we were seeing him,
but then we wouldn't have had that hilarious moment.
Yeah, well, hilarious from our viewpoint, I guess. Not so hilarious when you're the team in game. That's the kind of thing that can seriously, like, if that was me, I would be put on tilt by that right there. I would be playing worse for the rest of the game and the rest of the series because of that moment. And,
wow, that's that's.
But I mean, these guys are professional players. Like, they are there because they have mental fortitude and because they're able to recover from things like this. So now we're gonna have to see that being put to the test. See if B-Kid can just shrug it off and continue to make swag plays.
Yeah, 60 seconds here on Hag's ultimate cooldown. Tempest obviously has his ultimate up, but still not a huge amount of pull right now. He did have to go early portal key and bottle instead of going for that Ring of Sorcery. 1,000 gold left over. Probably expecting to see him just opt for a quick Shrunken. Yep. He's not going to bother getting a Ring of Sorcery or anything this game. Going straight for that Shrunken. I like it. They do not have an answer once again to the Shrunken Head Tempest on this Hellborn team. And they could see the Tempest pick from the start of the game. I mean, that was coming from a mile away, but no other junglers were locked, and Tempest
bottom lane, there's the Hammer Stud coming out. TP's coming in. Now auto attacks are there. Down she goes, but Elemental Void going to be able to catch two. The chain reaction going to be hitting perfectly. Shell Surf, Song of the Sea, Kelpfield, and the Lava Surge to finish 2. So they lose Silhouette, but pick up 2 kills right there, and they're going to try to get Master of Arms as well. Not quite able to get him. And well, making the best out of a bad situation for sure.
Yeah. Right now, at this point, all Complexity needs to do is just sort of wait for the Shrunken Head to finish up on the Tempest. Moon Queen is sitting at 400 GPM, but the teamfight advantage is in favor of Complexity. Haxorn just needs to pick up a little bit of farm there. I mean, if you can even get a base of items, I think they'll be able to handle this Moon Queen later on, but I don't know. Hammer does have his PK. He's going to have his Mighty Blade coming up here. They will sort of have a powerful front line here. I think what... Are they going to get this tower for free too, or are they going to wind up backing off? Okay.
Looks like they will back off for now. As this is coming. Oh, they catch Magnus though, and Beacon trying to juke on out of there, using the Steam Bath for now. TP up. There's the portal key. TP up in 3 seconds. And will he actually be able to get out? Luna looking for the power throw right now. Looking for the power throw. And she gets it!
Wonderful play by Seal Kid there. Forget about replacing him.
Oh, Seal Kid, you are so good.
Yeah, he is an awesome player.
Oh man, B-Kid not having a good few minutes.
Yeah, I was saying I thought Complexity really had this game just because I like their team fight a lot. I like that they have no answer for Shrunken Head here on Hellborn. But they do have a few major damage threats, especially if Hag can recover a little bit more here. Moon Queen with an already outstanding farm. We've seen that hero once again just take over games single-handedly. And with a farm like how she's getting, it does not look like it's about to slow down anytime soon. So that's... I can't stack that.
Yeah, so like you said, the farm coming out of Moon Queen is starting to get very, very big. Go on the preferred route for me, which is the Firebrand first, and we'll see if she picks up a Shrunken Head afterward. That's what I'd like to see, Firebrand into Shrunken Head. But if she goes with Geometry's Bane first, that's also no big problem there. In fact, she would be able to finish that up. And about another 350, 400 gold, something like that. While Silhouette still struggling to recover. 210 gold per minute. She's finished up her Sustainer and Steam Boots. But she needs her team to buy her more time. And right now, I don't know if they're going to be able to. I mean, Hag getting pretty decent. 219 gold per minute right now. For Krebson, you got Super KGE still farming 330 with his portal key. And, ooh, they're trying to find a Luna. Seal Kid going to TP on out of there. And we'll be just fine.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Good job taking out that tower. The gap is closing between Complexity and Lion here. Honestly, it's the Moon Queen pick that's really troublesome, and I know Complexity was really confident going into this game playing against that Moon Queen. They left it open. They had first pick available. They opted to take the Bubbles, and I thought Bubbles' pick was fantastic, especially going against that dual lane in mid, but still, Moon Queen has been allowed to get out of control here.
And Bubbles has played fantastic, actually, this game. Like, Les QQ doing everything that he needs to do. 1-0 and 3, he's getting the farm. He was in a 1v2 lane, and he just picked up a 20-minute portal key on top of Steam Boots, Bottle, Power Supply, and Grave Locket.
Yeah, that's true. Safe kills, nice assists, and a couple tower pushes coming out, and there you have it.
Yeah, so he's doing a really, really good job right here. But Complexity needs to be able to coordinate a little bit better. Now that they have 3 portal keys on their 3 portal key wielding heroes, I'd really like to see them start going off on some ganking sprees. Try to find some of these players out of position. Trying to lock down and kill that Moon Queen before she gets to that
Shrunken Head. Pull that camp with his elementals, but I guess opted not to right now. He was going for the rune. He got a regen rune there on bottom. Meanwhile, Silhouette coming here, trying to pick off that Master of Arms.
Oh, yeah, and might be able to get it. There's the defensive Master's call. And Portal Key going to be, or excuse me, that's a Courier coming in. Wretched Hag is there.
TP's coming in. 3 TPs, 4 TPs
this is
on the
about
bottom.
to get nasty. This is about to get nasty. There's the charge shot. And, well, there's the hammer stun onto 3 right there. Hag comes in. Bat Blast, Sonar Scream onto 3 more players. Tempest goes down, and Magma's trying to channel off that ultimate. Will be able to get it off with a big Lava Surge. Not able to finish off anybody. No, gets the Luna before he goes down, and 4 players go down there. Oh,
man.
Good response from Lions. A really good response, TPing into that tier 1 tower, which is still up. And B-Kid came so close to being able to get that huge 3-man ult off. Just wasn't enough damage.
Yeah, he was a level 11 hero. You know, if he kills, okay, I was gonna say if he had like 1 more point of volcanic touch and he like wind up getting the finishing blow on one of those heroes, it might have just killed everybody right there too. So close, so close. Excellent response there from Lion. I felt like they should just went ahead and had Tempest blink in and jump on the Master sooner, because they sort of chased for a while there, tried to edge him out, and waited on their initiate, and that gave Lion enough time to really mass TP in and respond. And you know, great play, great coordination by them, but now the story of Moon Queen is about to totally unfold. He did finish a Shrunken Head here, as you said he was going to do as well, or as you said you'd like to see him do. So there's sort of not much, you know, unless Moon Queen gets jumped here, she's going to have free reign in these team fights.
Yeah, and there's no Pharaoh this time. So, I mean, like, that possibility is not as high. You've got your Magnus, of course, but the counter-initiation potential from somebody like the Master of Arms that could come in and just knock the Magnus away, or, you know, Moon Queen just pops the Shrunken Head at that point. You don't have
Yeah.
the Hellflower lockdown like you did in the last game for your
Ooh.
initiation, which is really what you
Sackstone,
need.
by the way, on Krebs in this game. I actually really like Sackstone as an item. I feel like we don't see it enough. It's kind of an awkward item to pick up sometimes, so it's
Yeah.
really not that expensive. Yeah, he did opt to go pick it up this game, so.
Oh, Master of Arms could be in some trouble here. Might be baiting, though. Oh, now they're going to go on Silhouette, and Hax is in some trouble. Charge Shot comes out. There's the Forked Lightning. But Krebson, or excuse me, Hanskin chooses TP. I get those two names confused all the time.
Krebson and Hanskin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just try to remember the roles they play, and that tries helps, because Hanskin's always on utility or jungle, and you see Crimson sort of on the solo role more often, at least.
Yeah, he plays that quite often now. Complexity, they've activated the pub train imp. They're looking for this bottom tower. They want the last tier 1 here. And Magma's actually choosing to go for a Shrunken Head first. So what do you think about that instead of something like a Hellflower to try to deal with that Moon Queen and try to burst her down?
I'm trying to think. I think Magnus is a little bit shell-shocked after that last fight, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm just worried because they're not even, see, the thing is that Hellflower is good, but they're not really all in on Moon Queen. This Hammerstorm is looking really deadly as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, things are starting to look perhaps a little bit grim here for Complexity in game 1, but
level 11 Master of Arms as well, so really good, counter initiate as well right there with the level 2 Master's Call.
B-Kid, yeah, he needs to get out of there. And he will, so B-Kid's actually getting relatively close to finishing up that Shrunken Head. Now about a little over 1,000 gold off of that, but going to be able to get that pretty quickly up here in the top lane. Going to use Volcanic Touch to farm very effectively. And, bottom lane, Aluna going to be going in on Bubbles, and, okay, nothing going to be too much happening. Bubbles needs to be very careful, yeah. He looked like he wanted to go in and grab that haste stream, but as soon as he saw the 3 extra Hellborn players, he just said, see ya.
Yeah, meanwhile, Haxorn's still quite a ways off of his, not quite a ways, I mean, he's only 1,000 gold, maybe 700 gold after this camp, but still, gonna be looking at a near 30-minute null-stun there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, that laning phase really did work out perfectly, and the recovery didn't happen really quick enough for laning that Moon Queen against Silhouette. Their carry got very, very farmed. They kept the enemy team carry down, and I like the man-up move that they did there for sure.
Well, the unfortunate part here is that when you're running solo support, which is your Torture in this case, versus dual support, which is your Aluna, and you got some secondary support there from Hanskin, you're going to be able to lay down more counter wards. You're going to be able to get more wards and counter wards taken care of. As a haste rune actually activated here by Hanskin. Looked like he wanted to go in on the Torture, but that's what it's come down to, is there's been consistently great counter warding and warding coming out from the Lions team. Just, they have sheer numbers. Over Franzi, they're able to place more down, and they've been able to keep this jungle open the entire time so that Silhouette would normally be farming the jungle. She's actually getting pressured in the jungle constantly.
Right, and then Tempest needs to farm it up. I mean, they're sort of having to choose. Oh, wait, let's look here. Okay, B-Kid is only 200 gold off his Shrunken Head, by the way, right now. He's going to go finish it up right now. That'll be very good for him. Moon Queen, though, man. Moon Queen, Moon Queen, Moon Queen. I
don't even want to talk about her, man. Like, I just want to ignore the game and talk about everything else, and then just be like, "Oh my God, there's a Moon Queen in this game. I forgot that there's a Moon Queen, and she's gonna kill literally everything." So that's my feeling.
She is still pretty squishy, though. 1,500 life with the agility treads activated. Up to 1,700 or so with the strength treads on. If they do get that ideal jump here with a Shrunken Head Magmus, a Shrunken Head Tempest, and they can bring her down, go for a quick fight, good tower push, Silhouette can recover quite nicely. It's not like they're out of the game entirely. It's just,
definitely not.
It's definitely sort of Lions' game to drop at this point.
Yeah, Lions up, but this is still well within a one team fight. Like, disadvantage, gold and experience wise, which doesn't tell the whole story, because the hard carry potential definitely there on the Lions side.
One thing though is that they're sort of limited in range between Hammerstorm and Moon Queen, I should say, and when you have a Shrunken Head Tempest, once again with no answer to it on the enemy team, your opportunity to lay down great team fight AoE ult synergy is pretty high. And between the Bubbles, the Tort, the Magmus, on top of that Tempest ulti, I mean, they do have a lot of turnaround potential.
Now, there is actually a solution here. It's called Skeleton Kings, which we already have Moon Queen. I've seen her dominate 2 so far. And she's going to start assembling Skeleton Kings.
Very good call, actually, and that is exactly what they needed to do, to be honest, to sort of seal the deal in fights. And if they have those, okay, then yeah. Where's the second one? I see the one.
There was one over by the Ancients, and I don't know where the other one was. I saw another.
All they need
It might
is
have
one
died.
to cancel it. All they need is one to cancel it. So.
Yeah, it might have died.
Oh yeah,
she does
very
have...
wise decision making then from Flensmeister, if that's the case.
Magnus
if he actually winds up utilizing that. And he's got it in position here on the side.
He certainly does. Mag wants to go in really bad, and the Shrunken Head is finished up here on Tempest, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on the Skeleton King to the best of my ability in any upcoming team fight. But Moon Queen is actually just farming top lane. Gonna actually start to push that in, and so Complexity, all of a sudden, they just started the timer.
Yeah, indeed, and she's actually getting really close. I don't know what she'll go next.
Oh, there's the stun onto Wretched Hag right here, channeling up the ultimate, and, well, here comes the ultimate, goes right there, Wretched Hag down. Skeleton King needs to interrupt that one. Hag does buy back. Helmets avoid catching people in there, but LesQQ actually going to go down right here. No, a big lava surge coming back in, and all of a sudden Tempest down, Magnus down, Bubbles is down, and there goes Torture as well. Silhouette still trying to get out of there, and that was the full duration Tempest ultimate, and they just did not even care. They just activated their Shrunken Heads, just tanked right through it. Hag bought back, and a beautiful Bat Blast coming in, and just so much raw damage.
Yep. Wow. I mean, I guess we sort of saw that coming with how farmed up the Lion team is, but still a great fight by them. Hag bought back right away. She's still sitting on a lot of gold, still getting really close to that health flower. I'm not... At this point, Complexity, could throw in the towel, and I wouldn't really dispute that, but I definitely agree with their decision to keep fighting. It's a pretty important match here, so if anything, maybe drain the stamina of the enemy team going into game 2.
Yeah, this is definitely not the kind of match that you want to 31cc or something like that.
Did you see the Skeleton King do anything last fight? Still
I did not. I watched it, and it didn't interrupt anything. It made me sad because it was actually like it could have taken like 5 steps forward and interrupted, probably halfway through, but it didn't.
Yeah. Okay.
So I actually got sad there.
Okay. Yeah, we were sort of hyping that Skeleton King up.
Poor guy. In fact, he looks like he's dead.
Oh, Skeleton King is right over there by the shop.
Oh, there he is.
Right by the observatory. Yeah.
And they're hard to find sometimes.
There's our little guy.
He's Sammy the Skeleton King.
Have you seen that happen much? I feel like I would like to see that more, but I don't. Like
Skeleton King interrupts?
Yeah. I do see it here and there, but from a dominated creep, not even in Ophelia.
Yeah, Ophelias tend to do it more than dominated creeps do. I've seen it a few times. I think in specific, I've seen Slicks do it before. I want to say that he had a Whispering Helm on Draconis or FA. I want to say that I've seen it a couple of times before from him, but it's actually really rare. And that's one thing that carry players could improve on. Yep. You know? When you're in the middle of those team fights, of course, you want to find your correct target, lay down your spells correctly, but being able to just use a Skeleton King, all you got to do is just click it and click that Tempest and help your team out quite a bit, and you'll get mad props from Emp and I.
Yeah.
Middle tower going to go down to actually Moon Queen Illusions. Does get denied there by B-Kid. And Moon Queen also stealing the Ancients during that time. So 33 minutes into this game. 16,000 experience, 12,000 gold lead for the Lions team. Make that 17-13 actually. And they're looking very, very good. 500 GPM Moon Queen as opposed to a 575 GPM Moon Queen actually. As opposed to a 300 GPM Silhouette.
And the other thing is they're not exactly super burst heavy. They have good AoE ultis on Complexity, but they're not really like burst heavy. Now that Moon Queen has the token, I mean, she can build for a wing bow, she can build for her Satanic right now if she wants, but now that she has the token, she can pretty much just walk up there and attack. If Complexity goes on her, I think Lion will be in a great place to respond, especially with Moon Queen able to revive there. I don't think Complexity can really stop Lion from putting out a push.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And there's the wing bow. So says, hey, you are not getting a Savage Mace anytime soon. Gonna need a Geobane or a Shrunken Head. One of those two. probably even a shield breaker before that Savage Mace comes out. So Moon Queen will have plenty of time to use that wing bow to its full extent. And as she actually still has the token here, 4 minutes left, would not be surprised to see them go for a really big push here. Complexity, though, pushing up the bottom lane.
Yeah. Looks like they want to kind of jump here, but they're hesitant. They're not going to actually do it. They'd be insane.
I think they would be insane.
I'd like to see Lion push here instead of sort of hold back. Not because I'm getting bored or anything, but I do want to see them sort of make a play. I know they're known for playing particularly passive, but this isn't a time where I think they need to play passive.
The Lion's strat is kill Kongor 4 times, grab token, and double cheese. And then push.
My strat will be to shoot myself in the face while waiting for it. I mean,
it's the Lion's strat.
I just want to see it. Okay, they're actually going to.
Oh yeah, they're going on a Luna right here. The defensive master's call though. Vapblast gonna come in and hit 3 people right there. Tempest and Torture both evaporate. Lava Surge Eruption gonna be coming in. Takes out a Luna, almost able to get Wretched Hag, but not quite. Trucking head there on Hammerstorm, and he just smacks down Les QQ. Magnus into trouble as well. He gets the sword to the face, and Tree Grapple coming in from Silhouette. She's gonna try to save herself. Does portal key away, but in the end, a 4-for-1 exchange, and vote to concede being put up. GGs are coming out, and it looks like we're going to be going into game 2 here.
Yeah, extremely well played by Lion. Great lane setup, nice manning up against the Tempest, and shout out to Super KGE for going my favorite Hammerstorm build. Straight up the Blink, Shrunken Head into Elder Parasite. Elder Parasite's so good with that hero.
Yeah, it
makes him a constant threat, so...
The mobility, the attack speed, the life leech, very, very nice, especially in conjunction with that Shrunken Head, so you don't take a bunch more magic damage. But, Emp, that's game 1. Lions looked phenomenal. Their lane setup, it was weird, but it worked. They made it work
it wasn't
really, really well.
That weird. I mean, they did aggressive dual lane with Moon Queen, and they sort of knew what they were up against there with the solo Silhouette. I mean, it worked out just fine. I was glad to see it. So,
all right.
I didn't think they'd man up and send the Moon Queen in the off lane, but they did. So I'm proud of them.
Going into game 2, what does Complexity need to do differently?
Well, I thought that was a little bit of an oversight. Maybe I felt like it was an oversight where they gave Lion the Moon Queen, but they didn't want to go pressure. I mean, they did maybe have the idea behind it, sending the Torture plus the Magmus top, but maybe they could have done some adaptation in lanes, done something there, because I didn't think it was wise to just give that Moon Queen total free farm early on. She is a hero that is really gankable. You can apply a lot of pressure to her early on with the right lane setup, but they sort of just let her get that free farm. They left her in the pool when Silhouette, Draconis was open. They left the Moon Queen open, and we talked about that really early on when Moon Queen is available. They went for that Bubbles first pick, which is a good hero, but there are other options. And they gave him a free Moon Queen pickup, who has just been seen to turn games over and over again lately. And Lion is very comfortable with her. I thought that was pretty questionable there. So,
all right. Well,
maybe just not leave that free Moon Queen. Now that Lion is going to be Legion team, if they're going to leave Moon Queen, I want to see them play aggressively against it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Well, we are going to go into game 2 right about now. This has been Complexity Casting with me, your casting host, Beef of Complexity Gaming and Brized of Domain of Pain. Emp, game number 2 coming up. Who you got?
Lion's looking pretty good. Depends how well Complexity adapts. If they learn from their lessons of the first game, I still think they are the more seasoned team. Meanwhile, Lion has been scrimming a lot lately. Complexity's in a little bit of transition period between what player is going to be their stable fifth. So right now, team synergy-wise, you almost have to give Lion the upper hand, and there's a lot of momentum, a lot of confidence being going on. Honestly, Complexity was looking fantastic that game until... Remember that Ancient moment where Beakit and Francie wound up dying at the Ancients?
That's a tilt-causing moment.
That caused a little bit of drama now, how they'll... If they're just going to let it roll off them, or if there's a little bit of bickering going on now, I don't know. There was obviously some sort of miscommunication when that went down.
Tilt-inducing right there.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to go and take that break, get into game 2 here in the next 5-10 minutes, and get it to you guys. It's been coleCast, HoN Tour Live. Of course, a huge shout-out to Complexity Gaming for all their support of coleCast and allowing us to bring you awesome Heroes of New Earth action 6 days a week. Check him out over at ComplexityGaming.com. And of course, make sure to check him out on Facebook at Facebook.com/ComplexityGaming and Twitter at ComplexityLive. Give him a like, give him a follow, and of course, let him know how much you love seeing coLcast here every Saturday and Sunday for HoN Tour. Guys, we'll be right back with game number 2. Don't go anywhere.